What's happening, everyone? Nicky Hawkins, West Ham Fan TV, back once again for another Friday night pint. Last one of the season, it's probably going to be.
Yeah. Lots to talk about. Lots of bloody talk about today, I tell you.
Well, how are you?
There's a lot going on today, isn't there? Yeah, I'm all right, mate. How are you? Everyone all right?
Yeah, good.
Yeah.
Good, mate. All good. Cheers.
I've got iron brew because I'm driving tomorrow. So, cheers.
I've got water.
Oh, Jesus. I tell you, I might have to. I'm always out in the garden. Some people think I've been chucked out my house. I promise you, it's not. I just enjoy being in the garden. But I might have to dash in a minute because it's looking a little bit fucking Forrest Gump out here. I think the storm's going to come very soon.
Forrest Gump. I thought you meant you was just going to get up and start. I thought you meant you were just going to get up and start running.
Well, maybe just when the game just kicked him out again.
Where are we starting?
What?
Where do you want to start?
Where are we starting?
Well, I think the best thing to start with is a big news today that Souček has signed on the permanent, mate. Happy days.
We're back to have him on catalogue terms, so are we? But
I don't care what. I don't care how we're paying for him or what. We've got him. He's ours for the next.
Well, we're going to have to go into that in a bit, either regardless. But it is good news. Like to have him secured at the club. Like I said, he's a great player, and I think knowing that he'll be here next season helps me sort of rest easy a bit. You know.
We were saying the other night, it's a bargain price. It'd be stupid not to have taken it, really. You know?
It's money, isn't it? When you think about sort of what transfer fees are these days, someone has been so important and vital to our survival. But he's been one of the players that have made sure we've stayed in this league. He's been superb. Yeah. I don't remember him having. I remember him having probably one quiet game in the whole time he's been here.
Imagine if we'd had him at the start of the season.
Yeah, this is the thing, isn't it? He's been identified. There's still some speculation about who identified him and who's bought him and all of that sort of thing. But at the minute, I don't care. He's been bought. He's the right player to buy. He's got an all-round game. He's the midfielder we've been desperately trying to sign for. You see the midfielders we've let go in Kiate and Obiang and all of them sort of. And I'll be honest with you, at the time. Wasn't it wasn't I wasn't against selling them players because I think they'd had their day at West Ham and they got lazy and they got a little bit comfortable in their place at West Ham, but we never replaced them, and we went past people like William Carvalho, who we never quite got over the line. And we've been lacking there ever since. And to get a player like Thomas Souček, who, let's be fair, I think if he'd come from any other club in Europe, if he'd been playing for an Italian club or a Spanish club, I think you're looking at £40 million plus. I've just heard that the club that we signed him from is his childhood club, and it funds them for the next 10 years.
Nice, yeah, good for them.
Yeah, he's been a breath of fresh air since he's come into the club, and as you said, he's someone that we definitely needed in midfield just to help out with Declan Rice and Mark Noble, take the pressure off of them two a bit. But for the fee we've paid for him, it's a great length of contract as well. He's 25, so hopefully.
Rumours were Spurs were going to come in with a late bid and try and snatch him off.
That's why I think credit to the club who, when they done this deal, that they already had that deal agreed, because I think his performances since he's been with us, as I said the other night, there was probably other Premier League teams looking at him thinking, how have we let this player slip through our hands? It'd suit a lot of teams, and I'm glad that obviously if we'd have got relegated or been down, he was never going to sign him. But yeah, no, it's promising. It's a great start to the transfer window, really.
Yeah. No, like you're saying as well. I think he's sort of in the last few games, he's allowed Rice to be a bit more attack minded and get forward a bit more. And Noble as well, really. Like you say, he's sort of benefited them as well because allowed them to sort of release the shackles a little bit, innit? In games and influence games a little more further up the pitch.
Definitely, Graham.
Good signing.
That is spot on, Graham.
It's
Cheers.
It's always that feeling, though, isn't it, of when you sign a player you've had on loan, you don't get that feeling like he is a new player, didn't you? It's like if you open your Christmas present the night before and then you open it again on Christmas Day, you feel like, oh.
No, you always get that feeling that as soon as they sign on a permanent deal, they turn out shit.
Yeah, that West Ham.
Arita Olunga, anyone?
Yeah. No, it's a positive move today. A bit of good news at West Ham at the moment, and I think it's a massive signing, and he's going to be an important part of our team next season, pushing us up the table and trying to get into that top 10 next season, and having a much better season than we've had this year.
Future Hammer of the Year, do you think?
Who?
Future Hammer of the Year?
Give him a chance, Gray. Give him a chance.
He's a good player. I mean, if he, we just hope he can carry that form on into next season. I think, like a lot of the players, I think, he was in good form before we locked down, and he was in good form after. So, apparently, like the rumours I'm hearing from the club is he's a total professional. There's no one more professional at the club. He's first in, last out, and all of that sort of thing. So, hopefully, it rubs off on a couple of the other players. And I think
someone with a few goals and all.
Well, yeah, someone like that is not going to come back in in bad shape or bad form or whatever. So hopefully,
imagine he come back about 6 stone overweight pre-season. Even here, lads. Fuck it. I've had a good summer.
It bodes well for us. And as I said, a bit of professionalism and a bit of hard work and dedication is a lot of what the club's missing. When you look at all the other players that are rumoured to be sort of being Leeds, by example, that's a good phrase. But you look at all the other players that have been touted about leaving. I think they're the right ones. It's them players that are sort of half-half. Players like Anderson, like. And I pick on Anderson because, a year ago, before we signed Haller, he was our record signing, and he was meant to be one of these guys that led by example and all of that sort of thing. And he had a decent season last year. At times he was, we see bits of pieces of what he's been mostly this year. But when you look at when we really had to roll up our sleeves and fight, he didn't fancy it. He didn't fancy his chances. You know what I mean? And he's a brilliant player. I'd rather see like a Robert Snodgrass in the side over someone like him. Someone with a bit of passion, desire and all that. May not be the best player in the world, but for a fact that they're going to leave everything out on that pitch. And that's...
Same thing. I think Snodgrass gets a bit of a bad... He's a solid professional. He goes, he's not the best player. Well, he's a solid professional. He's a
good squad player to have. I think he's done well this season before the lockdown, and he did really well.
I think that's all. I think that's all Snodgrass is, though. He's a squad player, and he's a decent squad player. But I think with Felipe Anderson, unless we get a good offer for him, I'd look to sort of keep him for next season. Unless something ridiculous comes in, I would keep him because he is a good player. He's had a terrible season. Don't get me wrong. But there's a lot of players out there that have had a terrible season. So if we can get 30 plus for him, then you can't turn that down. But
I just think it's his mindset, Ryan. I think
I know, but he's a sort of player that when we signed him, he wasn't signed for a relegation battle, was he? And these are the sort of things. If we was a team that was around the bottom 4 all the time, Pellegrini, we wouldn't even have gone for Pellegrini, let's be honest. But he would never have been signed by the club. But you never know. If we can get sort of the right end of the table, he might turn out to be that sort of player that we know he can be. But if not, then let's ship him out.
Under current circumstances, mate, it's going to be very tough. We've already been hearing the rumblings. We've got no money. A depressed transfer. We hear all of that bollocks.
Got no fans.
Yeah, all of that nonsense. And you see, like, this is the thing that annoys me about this website. We seem to talk about this website every week, but you see him spouting off on Twitter today, basically turning around and saying we ain't got no money because we're still paying for the £100 million we spent 2 seasons ago.
And the thing is, it's like you get a bit of good news at West Ham, and everyone was buzzing with the Souček news, and then the news come out about apparently Declan Rice, they're not going to offer him a new deal. And then for me, when I see things like that, I think How stupid can this club be? If Declan Rice says he's happy at West Ham, get rid of someone that's on £100,000 a week and give him the £100,000 a week. I just don't get that. You know, it just now it reeks of that we are going to look to sell Declan Rice, which would be the biggest mistake this club's made in since leaving the bowling ground.
It's one of them things where I think that, you know, anything positive is always used to soften the blow of something negative.
Yeah, it's a little sweetener to take away.
Yeah, like they knew this was coming. We've been hearing all the way through and all of that sort of thing. But
what we just heard before that was announced, right? What we just heard was that the Souček deal. So we're going to have to sell players to fund the Souček deal, right? So we've signed him for what we've signed him for. So whatever we sell in terms of player-wise going forward is going to pay for that Souček deal. So that's not even going to be able to fund another player. So we've got to cover the Souček deal, then go and sell more players to then cover any future players coming in. So that sort of took the wind out of the sails a bit.
Well, how much do we save from letting Sanchez and Zabaleta go?
They don't look at it for some reason like that, do they? In terms of wages, that never seems to come into the equation.
Let me just answer this quickly because we've got to take comments in a minute. Hannah says, Nicky, why does your face look like a part-worn tyre? Hannah?
Wow.
I'd rather my face look like a part-worn tyre than my vagina.
Yeah.
Anyway, well, the thing is with Declan Rice as well is that, look, Declan Rice is, from what I know, is happy at the football club. He did sign a new deal not long ago, so he is tied down till 2023, 2024, something like that. So we don't have to sell him, and we don't have to give him a new contract. Out of loyalty for Declan Rice, I would give him a new contract. I'd give him the captain's armband. I'll give him whatever he wants.
Well, I think it's a short-sighted thing, mate. Even if they was planning to sell him off, it increases his value.
Declan Rice now is worth between 75 and 90 million, without a doubt. That's what he's worth. Will we get that for him? I don't know. You know, but West Ham are now in a position that if we do have to sell Declan Rice, they can hold out for as much as they want because we're not a championship. If we would have gone down, Declan Rice would have gone for about 45, 50, without a doubt. Now we're still a Premier League team. We can ask the silly money. You know, Harry Maguire went for ridiculous money. You know, these players get chucked around, so much money spent on them. Why Declan Rice is worth it, in my opinion. But I just think West Ham need to now go out and make Declan. They need to sit Declan Rice down now and say, look, do you want to be at this football club? If he says yes, then that's what they do. They concentrate on signing him up because that'll be our best signing this summer, without a doubt.
Yeah, I've always said this about sort of English-born players and players that come through sort of our academy. They seem to be more willing to chuck around big money for people like Carlos Sanchez and Sebastian Haller than they would. I mean, Rice, with all intents and purposes, mate, he's the best player at our club. He's the best player at our club, and he deserves to be getting the most money. He probably deserves to take the captain's armband off of Noble, but you know they'll go and offer Chicharito, someone that, you know, when you see Hernandez at West Ham, £160,000 a week, couldn't give a fuck, couldn't give a toss. Like, and it echoed all through his, you know, it echoed all through his time at West Ham. He just didn't care. Yeah, some of it may be down to where he was playing and all of that sort of thing, but it never reeked to me that he really was interested. Declan Rice wears his art on his sleeve. He leaves everything on the pitch every time he comes. And I'm not just talking about some workhorse. I'm talking about someone who's fucking class at what he does. Absolutely fucking quality. He's in the England squad. He's going to be a future England captain. I've got no doubt about it. And he'll be a captain at whatever club he ends up at. So I've never understood. What worries me, mate, is that if Declan Rice goes to Chelsea, it's a step down in his career. And I'm not saying club-wise, because Chelsea are a bigger club, and you know they've got more potential of winning stuff and things like that. But I just mean for his career as a player,
you know, with all the players that Chelsea have got already and what they're signing, I can't see him fitting into their team. He should do, but I think they're going to look at him more as a centre back, and that's what worries me because. Look, don't get me wrong.
He's
Declan Rice
as a midfielder.
Yeah, Declan Rice is a good centre back, but he's a better defensive midfielder, and not only that, he can go forward as well. So,
and he enjoys playing there more, I think, as a midfielder, and he wants to get, like you said, wants to get forward more, and he wants to develop. He can improve there. So if they just sign him, lump him in at centre back, then, like you say, that's just going to stagnate his development.
The thing that annoys me as well is that
playing wise, you know, like. He started off as centre back for us, but he really flourished when we moved him into midfield.
You look at the thing that annoys me about it is they think they're going to get him on the cheap. They think they're going to get him on the cheap, or they think they're going to offload a load of shit that it's not good enough for them. And that's not how we're going to progress as a club. We're signing some decent players now. Bowen's going to be he's going to be a superstar.
Do you know what I do? Do you know what I do, mate? I'd say to him, all right, you want Declan Rice? You give us 60 million plus Mason Mount plus Tammy Abraham because they want to take our young talent. Let's take their fucking talent.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. They want, but you look at fucking Harry Maguire. Let's be fair. If Harry Maguire's an £80 million player, and that's what they had to pay, I'm not saying even fucking Leicester thought he was an £8 million player, but that's what they had to pay. You think they're going to get away with Declan Rice for 40 million? Because I
couldn't believe it when Man U offered him 80 mil.
If Maguire's a fucking £80 million player, then Declan Rice is an £100 million player.
I think Chelsea know they're not going to get him on the cheap.
The thing is, we have a track record of underselling our players, right? Selling for cheaper than we should be. We're not generally the team that like an Arsenal or Everton, or you oversell their players, or a Southampton and all of that. You get more than the players are worth. We tend to get less on the players.
But you know why that is? You know why that is? Because our owners have got too much of a track record of opening their trap and talking to press and talking to people and leaking information that tells everyone what position we're in. We show our hand before we play it. That's the problem. And that's why I've always said about things like leaks at the club. You know, when Pint was going, we could have sold Pint. We'd have stuck to our guns and fucking done the things the right way. We could have sold Pint for 50, 60 million pounds. But we didn't. We leaked all the information. Everyone knew he was unhappy. Yeah. And that weren't even leaked through fucking in the nose. That was leaked by the fucking manager himself. Yeah. You know? Fake an injury. If he's that unhappy, fake an injury. Just turn around and say he's done his cruciate ligament. He's going to be out for 3 months. Sell him in that time. You know what I mean? Like, they seem to be able to do it. But, yeah, this is the thing. With the in the nose and the leaks and all of that sort of thing, with fucking Sean Whetstone batting his mouth off every 5 minutes about, you know, we've got no money, blah, 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 and things like that. We show our fucking hand before we've played it. And whether they want to admit it or not, they, you know, the clubs look at that and they think, right, well, we know what position they're in. Like saying we've got no money, Chelsea think we'll get away with 40 million for Rice. They've got fuck all to spend. They've got nothing. They're skinned.
They'll come in, they'll go, oh, we'll give you 35, and we'll go, no, and they'll go, all right, then. And they'll walk off. They'll be like, oh, no, hang on a minute.
Yeah, we always show our hand before we, like, you don't see this level of leaking coming out of any other club. It's just our lack of professionalism. And for two businessmen that have made themselves a lot of fucking money, I find it bewildering. Honestly, I do.
Yeah, I mean, it's not. That's what I'm saying. Like, we had the news about Souček earlier, and everyone was buzzing because we knew it was coming. But then you get this come out about Declan Rice, and it does put that. I don't want it to drag out for the whole summer, and then we sort of lose him on transfer deadline day, you know, because we don't want that. If we are going to sell Declan Rice, then we've got to get it done early, because then that gives David Moyes the chance to bring in players to replace him. But how can you replace Declan Rice?
There is no way on earth that Rice should even be considered. There are 10 players in front of Rice that, you know, we can.
But then players in front of him can't get that transfer fee.
But they're going to go for what's going to get them the most money, aren't they? That's the thing.
But there's 5 or 6, mate, that will. There's 5 or 6 that will make up the same sort of transfer money, because we've already laid our cards on the table. We've already told everyone we're skinned. So what's going to happen now?
But that's what I mean. How are these five? Sorry,
mate. They think it's clever saying things like that because they know when they go to QPR with, like fucking pleading poverty with them. We can only sign Easy for 10 minutes. How do you even pronounce his name? Ezzy? What?
Yeah, I don't know. Eze.
Yeah, when we can only afford 10 million and all that. It works in the opposite way as well because clubs are going to write, they've got no money.
But the thing is, I know we're looking at a couple of players from Wigan, and teams like QPR and Wigan are desperate for money, so you can sort of exploit that situation. With us, I know we need to sell to buy, but for me, I'd rather keep the squad we've got now and add a couple of youngsters on the cheap and keep Declan Rice, because look at the way we've played towards the end of the season. We know we've got the players that can do it. It's just they was lacking confidence. We need to get a couple out, no doubt about that. But I'm happy to replace some of them players. We've got Diagana. Diagana's still our player. As much as West Brom fans doing the conga thinking they're going to sign him, he's still our player. So Diagana, I see earlier that apparently Ngaki is signing for West Brom. Now, look, he's obviously been tapped up. It wouldn't surprise me if Slaven Bilic was involved in it. But Slaven Bilic the other week was crying in his press conference that someone tapped his youngster up. So I don't know how it all works, but that was the choice Ngaki made. But yeah, I just think the main priority this summer is to tie Declan Rice down. And when I mean that, I don't mean tie him down so he can't move to Chelsea. Like literally tie him down with rope, because that's what we might have to do.
Well, go on, mate. We'll take some of the comments after. Go on.
No, I was just going to say, because obviously, Nick, you were saying about what they've done is to plead poverty, right? By saying we have to sell to buy in order to try and not, have clubs overprice their players for us. But the big way that backfires is we're saying to all these clubs, we have to sell players to buy players. So now when we go to sell our players and we try and ask for like a big fee for certain of these players we want to sign, they're going to know that we're desperate to sell. So they're going to be like, no, here we go. And they'll lowball us exactly and know we're desperate.
Exactly. Well, the thing is, like Nicky was saying about Anderson, right? If we get rid of Anderson, say we get 20, 25 million for him, Diagana, straight replacement. For me, like for like. From what I've seen of Diagana, like for like.
It depends who comes in for Anderson. If he's got suitors in Spain, or a big club in Italy or something that fancies him because they know him from his time in Lazio, or he's been talking to people back in Italy, you can demand a big fee because they're admirers of him. They know they can do it in that league and all of that sort of thing. But if you're talking about selling him to someone like Leicester or something like that, they're not going to pay that money. They're not going to pay the £40 million that we got. But if you get the right club or whatever. You never know. A club in fucking China could come in and want to sign him for 100 million, because that's the fucking price I'll be putting it up to if someone like that come in. But
they got a wage cap now, don't they, in China? Isn't it like a 40 grand wage cap?
I don't know. That's probably why now.
The thing is, you knew they couldn't sustain that sort of the sort of wages they were paying play because they weren't getting the crowds, they haven't got the TV rights that you'd get in like the Champions League and all that. So that was unsustainable. So you knew that was going to happen.
Yeah, exactly. What's that?
It's gone quiet over there. I was waiting for someone to speak.
Dan, can I just say your tash is looking good today, mate. You look like the finest swordsman in all of France.
Cheers, mate. You need to grow yours back. I'm telling you, we need the
too much grey in it there, mate. Too much grey in it.
Just for men.
There's the simple economics. Is Rice worth more to this football club than the monetary gain the club would gain in the short term? Absolutely. Samuel Pinsey says the West Ham owners are poison to your football club. It goes to show how poorly they've run our club. They clearly don't give a crap like you fans do. West Ham need changes from top to bottom. We've been saying that for years, mate. A few clubs will spend big money, no choice but to sell to buy. Are we still not in debt because of the Iceland bank thing? Who fuck knows? They'll all tell you we are.
They're supposed to have paid that off a long time ago.
Nobody ain't out to China for anything, let alone football, not for a long time.
The thing is, as well, just to quickly say that I see ex-employee tweet out today that West Ham are really interested in Ryan Fraser. And for me, he's a free transfer. Ryan Fraser's only, 25, 26, something like that. He's a proven Premier League player. If we can get him in on a free transfer, I think that's a great bit of business by West Ham.
Listen, I've got no sort of problem with Ryan Fraser. I think Ryan Fraser's a good player, and he's been linked heavily with Tottenham. But it's just a position we don't fucking need.
Well, we do need if we're going to try to sell Anderson.
Yeah, but then we've got Diangana coming back.
Yeah, but they can play either wing. You got to build your squad. The thing is, for me, I'll take free transfers all day long as we keep Declan Rice. That for me, Declan Rice is the main signing in the summer. We need to not only tie him down, but we need to make sure he's a West Ham player come September the 12th when we kick off the season.
I just don't see the point in signing all these fucking wingers. We're still lacking in midfield. Souček signing is like, it's made out.
Yeah, but Yarmolenko will probably leave the club as well. Robert Snodgrass might leave the club. You know, these sort of players might leave the club. So a player like Ryan Fraser would be a great bit of business by West Ham if we can get him.
All we have to do is make sure we don't overdo it with the Championship players. Just don't, one or two really good, the desire and all that sort of thing. You can't fill your squad with them because they ain't got the experience in the Premier League. You still need experience, you still need quality, but just put, one or two Championship players in your side. Better.
I don't know how we're going to even get these. I don't think we're even going to get these Championship players because they're obviously a lot of those are highly rated, like Eze and Benrahma and all of that. If we've got to wait until we sell some players before we can sign players, then all the other teams are going to come in and swoop and beat us to the targets anyway that we want.
I'll be honest. I know you obviously like with Claret and Hugh and all that, but I don't buy it. I think there is money there, mate.
It's not just Claret and Hugh though. Like X was tweeting it as well.
They're the same sources. So I don't know, but I think there is money there. It's not as much as we want, but I think there's money there. I think there is money there.
So you're not buying the whole sell. We have to sell before we can buy stuff, sort of thing.
I believe if we want to make big signings, then yeah. But players like these Championship players from Wigan and things like that, like I said, Wigan are relegated. They're a League One club now. They need all the money they can get. They're in administration.
I saw something today. They might, because Sheffield Wednesday and Derby are in trouble. So I think there's something going on with Wigan and Charlton that they may.
Yeah, well, I think.
And the thing is, I mean, if we want to look at Leighton Orient made a good signing today, Yaya Toure in League Two, we might put a bid in for him.
Yeah, wouldn't surprise me.
What a massive coup that is for Leighton Orient.
Well, I don't know if he's playing with them or he's just training with them because I remember seeing that.
I thought it was a training thing, but Leighton Orient actually tweeted out saying League Two ain't ready for Yaya Toure. So I don't know what's going on, but fair play to him, dropping down. I know, like what is he, 36 now? 30? No, he's probably might be a bit older than that, isn't he? 38, something like that. But no, fair play to him. But now in our club, we'll probably put a £10 million bid in for him in January or something like that.
Yeah.
That Yaya, he's a fucking funny character. Like, I just hope we don't go the way that Edgar Davids went at Barnet. Go down there and think of the fucking I am. Start demanding all sorts of shit. He was fucking player manager, playing himself at centre back. He had the number 1 shirt and all that. Dutch players, they've got a history of being arrogant and all of that sort of thing. So I know Yaya and that sort of culture is a lot more chilled out and a lot more down to earth and humble. So I just hope we don't go there and giving it the big one like Davids, because Davids got found out, man, because he was fighting every fucker every 5 minutes.
Yeah, then he got sent off a few times, didn't he?
Oh, he gives someone a dirty forearm smash, man. I remember that to this day. I watched it on Sky Sports. Some geezer tried to get the ball off of him, and he just went in the mouth, man, knocked all his teeth out and shit.
Yeah, I mean, what else we got? We covered Souček. We done with Rice.
Well, yeah. We got the Hammer of the Year awards today. Obviously, we're going to do our.
We're done with Declan Rice, and you just said Hammer of the Year. So yeah, for me, Declan Rice is my Hammer of the Year.
I mean, like, we're obviously going to do a video, and we'll do our West Ham Fan TV Player of the Years. But I voted for Ogbonna just because, one, I mean, Declan Rice, he's got to get Young Hammer of the Year, because who else is going to get Young Hammer of the Year? And Ogbonna.
Ngakia might get it.
Ben Johnson for 2 games. Yeah, but imagine Ngakia comes back and picks up his award.
For me personally, I went for Declan Rice because he's played every minute of every game. He's been so important to us this season. He broke into the England squad and all that. But the thing is, yeah, if Ogbonna gets it, I'll be happy. It's one of them ones. It's either Rice or Ogbonna for me. They've both been outstanding.
Well, because if you give Rice the Young Hammer Award, the Young Hammer of the Year award, that means Rice can get something and Ogbonna can get something. They can both pick up an award.
Sometimes Antonio's got to be in the mix, though, hasn't he?
Yeah, definitely. But the only reason I didn't vote for Antonio, the matter is he's won it before, so I think Ogbonna's won it.
It would not surprise me if Antonio actually pips it, because I think a lot of people will vote judging on his last 6 or 7 games. But you look across the season,
usually get it, don't they?
Yeah, you look across the season, you can't argue with Ogbonna or Declan Rice for me.
Yeah,
I honestly think I had Ogbonna pinned down, and I think he's been absolutely immense this year. I really do. I think he's led by example. But I think, like you making your argument there for Rice, I think he's sort of a victim of his own success, because he's so good week in, week out, that you sort of just expect him to be that good. And that makes players like when Ogbonna, who, he's had a mixed career with West Ham. He's been either really good or really fucking shit. But he's been really good this year.
He did have that surgery.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, and he was playing for.
He's been more like the Ogbonna we had in the first season we had him.
Yeah, but that's it. So I think someone like Rice sort of suffers by his own success, and he might not be thought as Hammer of the Year because he's so good week in, week out. But that being said, I've seen some polls today, and I think Rice is pipping it, to be honest.
Yeah, no.
The thing is, as well, like you look at Declan Rice. He's 21. And as I said, he's played every single minute of every single game, and let's be honest, he's never lower than a 7 out of 10 performance. Never. No. Even on his bad games, he's still our best player sometimes. And I can sit here all night and talk about Declan Rice. He's a great player. But as I said, if Ogbonna gets it, then yeah, I'm happy. I'm either one of them. But I just voted Declan Rice because I can't vote.
I'll be honest with him, at his age, and I've said this before, at Declan Rice's age, I've seen some real golden generations at West Ham, some real talent coming through the youth teams, from Rio Ferdinand to Frank Lampard and Jermaine Defoe and Joe Cole and Michael Carrick. And they was all class players. And they went on to have some very big careers, like Glenn Johnson, even people that didn't quite make it, like Lee Hodges and things like that. You know what I mean? They were very good players, very good youth players, and could have gone on to do some big things. Some of them did go on to do big things. At his age, I think he's the most advanced player I've ever seen at West Ham.
I think he's had to become that, though, because of the way we've been playing, and we've relied on players like Declan Rice. They should have come into the team. They should have been like, I'm not saying he ain't enjoying his football, but he should have had better players around him to take pressure off. But he hasn't. He's had to grow up so quick. He looks like he's like the oldest headed 21-year-old I know. He looks like he's been playing in the Premier League for about 10, 15 years. He looks like the sort of, like Jordan Henderson's been up there for so long. Steven Gerrard, these sort of players were up there for so long. But as I said, Declan looks like he's been playing for about 10, 15 years in the first team at West Ham.
I just want to highlight this comment, right, about Antonio. All our best football has been played with Antonio in the team. Now, I completely agree. And I remember saying on a few post-match pints and all of that earlier in the season and instant match reactions in how much better we are when Antonio's in the team. Earlier on in the season, when he was at the side, we was losing. We was getting battered, and then he'd come back in. We'd look instantly just a lot better. So I think with Antonio at the moment, because he's been scoring goals, we think about him in terms of how many goals he scored before lockdown, post lockdown. But it's all the other things that he does and the way he contributes to the team. I think that
I think with Antonio. Go on, sorry, mate. Go on.
No, go on, mate. Go on.
No, I was going to say, I think with Antonio, he just offers you something different. When you get the ball and you need to knock it over the top, you got someone that's going to run and chase it down. And Antonio's been unbelievable since come back since we come back from lockdown. And but Dan's right. Even the beginning of the season, before he got injured, he had some great games. He put in some good performances. He got injured, and I remember his comeback game when we lost at home to Tottenham. He come on as a sub and he changed the game for us. We was 3-0 down, and we got it back to 3-2. And he's such an important player. And that's another. I know we can trigger a 1-year extension on his contract, but they need to be offering him a new 2-3 year deal just to tie him down for a little while. He's such an important player for us, and Antonio's never ever let us down wherever he plays.
He's the one player I think in the squad at the minute. Sorry, Gray.
Go on, mate. I'll go
one
off.
player in the squad at the minute that suits the way we play, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? Like that's that. I mean, the reason we're down the bottom is because a lot of the times we play, we don't play to our strengths, and he's a strength. He's raw. He's powerful. He's not the greatest finisher of all time because we see him fucking put one in Rose Head every other week.
He's never scored from outside of the box. That was a stat I saw earlier. All his goals have been inside the box.
I'm not surprised, mate, because he can't get one on target from outside the box. But he's just that raw, a pure athlete, muscle bound to fuck. Like at one time, I think too muscle bound. I think it affected his game. But muscle bound to fuck. Nobody's going to shrug him off the ball. He's not a striker. But look at him. He's been at this club now for 4 years, 5 years. He'll probably be here for another 3 or 4 more, I would imagine, because he's full of pace, full of power, but he's full of determination. He never gives up on it. If you look at the way Haller come on the pitch the other day, Haller's one of them luxury players. He looks pretty, and he does things. One of them very laid back players. Very, does things at his own pace and all that sort. When he goes over the top in the wing, he's not chasing it, and Antonio will, and he gives that sort of unrest for defenders. He gives.
I think we've got. They know
if the ball comes over the top, it goes past them. He's got to be on their heel.
Yeah, I think we've also got to give a bit of credit to David Moyes as well, because turn Antonio.
What's that? Oh, is it?
Facebook's ringing me. He sort of turned Antonio into his Arnautovic, because when we was under a relegation battle under David Moyes last time, he turned Arnautovic into that out-and-out striker. He took him from playing out on the wing, put him up front, and Arnautovic done exactly what Antonio's doing for us. He chased every ball. He won games on his own. And I think credit to David Moyes for doing that with Antonio. He's obviously identified him and said, look, I'm going to make you my main man up front. I'm going to give you the chance. Go out there. You get me goals, and I'll keep playing you. And that's exactly what Antonio's done. He's taken advantage of the situation.
Again, he's, like you're saying about Rice earlier, he's another one, leaves everything out there. He runs himself into the ground every single game.
Yeah,
he always plays with a smile on his face as well. He always looks like he's loving playing the game.
Yogi says, "Glory, glory, Man United. Glory, glory, block." That's what I'd say.
That's harsh.
He keeps on putting it. I was definitely see why West Ham fans rate and appreciate Antonio. The guy gives his all, and you can see that he's right place at the right time. Antonio's a good player. He's been class for you lot. Facebook flipping it. Yeah, who uses Facebook? Block the spammer. Antonio's an instinctive player. If he's got time, he misses. Great chance. Servant needs a new contract. Can I ban Yogi? Yeah, I just have. You guys are like the Musketeers.
Dan is with a tash anyway.
We should all throw the same.
We definitely need a new left back. Look, we've heard today that the Premier League season will start on September the 12th. What do you make of that news? Do you think that's a bit too soon?
No, I mean it gives the players 3 weeks off before they have to come back for sort of pre-season. But I think the players are fit. The players are fit.
Yeah.
They've been back. I'm sort of glad it's going to start, but it still means there's going to be no fans. So it's going to be like starting off again, watching it on the telly, no fans there. It obviously ends at the end of May, so I think you're going to see sort of 2 games a week at some point in the season over a course of 5 or 6 weeks, just to sort of catch up. And I've seen that. I also read as well that they might scrap cup competitions for Premier League teams next season, which is I don't agree with that. I really don't agree with that because if they're going to play European football,
take the European teams out of it. They've got to take anyone out of it because
the FA Cup is still, even the League Cup is a massive trophy to win for clubs like West Ham, who haven't won something in 40 years. So, I'm not happy about. Here he goes. Look, Graham's off. I love it when he just randomly gets up and starts walking around. I feel like he's in the Crystal Maze or something. He's got to go to the Aztec zone on the quick. But it's it gives us a bit of time. And what would it be? 6 weeks from the end of the season to the start of the new season, something like that.
That just under, I think, under. So it's it's gonna be full on. It's gonna be full on for them. I think by the end of next season they'll be knackered. I think.
Station 35676 says Wolves has now been playing for a year, started last July. Well, technically, mate, they had a couple of months off, so they haven't really been playing for a year. I hear all this. That it's lasted for a year, but they had a couple of months when they never played any football.
It's been difficult though, because usually what they would do, right, the season would end and they could go all have an holiday and then have all that months and months before before football starts up again. Whereas with the lockdown, they've had to just be indoors and they had to have that, that big holiday to relax.
Their house ain't like mine and yours, then.
I know, but
they've got built-in gyms, swimming pools, and everything.
Yeah. They've had enough in there to entertain themselves. Believe me.
I bet they don't have to go and sit out in the garden like Nicky does.
They've got purpose-built rooms and stuff. Listen, one thing that I wanted to mention is season tickets. Obviously, as we just said, there's September the 12th. We're going to be starting a Premier League season. We know for a fact that there will be no fans in the stands because they're not even looking at it to October. But apparently they've met a few West Ham groups today to discuss season tickets. Now, for me, apart from Hammers United, I never knew anyone was meeting about season tickets. So I don't know how they think that they can represent fans when they're fucking not talking to anyone. You know what I mean? Like it's all been this hush, hush, hush thing. This is my opinion. This is just my opinion, and people can. They shouldn't be taking. I mean, I've left my season ticket balance from last season in the club's bank. I'm not going to take a cash refund. I know.
I'm bad too now. Sometimes I'm looking into my cash refund on the side screen.
But I've left mine in there. I know Ryan's left his in there, and I know Scott's left his in there. Dan's taking the money and running. But no, that's totally your choice. But I've left mine in there because I know at some point next season there probably will be fans. What I will say is this: is if they come back on Monday after meeting with all these fans groups and stuff. Now I haven't been asked. I'm a fan, and I didn't know any of these fuckers were meeting with these to discuss season tickets. So obviously a lot of other people wouldn't as well. And I'm in this world. You know what I mean? I'm in the social media world. I'm looking at it a lot. So they've gone and discussed these people with people that claim to represent this and claim to represent that and all that. Listen, they've got a quarter of a season's money in the account for me, Ryan, Scott, etc. If they then come out on Monday and start saying, well, we need you all paid up and all this, when you know that there isn't going to be any fans at the start, when you know that because other of clubs doing this, they want you to pay up and then they'll give you money back within 2 weeks if you don't get to attend a game. Now, that for me is not good enough. What they need to do is, like the away ticket scheme, is take your card details, use the balance that's already there for the games you get to attend, take your card details, and when you get to attend a game, take the money off the card.
Yeah.
That's my opinion.
Yeah, you can either do that, or if they turn around and said, "Look, you got to pay 20% just to secure your season ticket."
But they've got 20% off of a lot of people.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So they could just take that and secure your season ticket, and then once you start going back to games, once you're announced that you can start going back to games, they say, right, you got to pay whatever amount left, but they give you a time period to pay it. They don't just say, right, you got to pay £500 now, tomorrow. They say, right, you can pay it off for the rest of the season over a 6-month course, because they've got their what they call it, the payment plan thing anyway. which is 0% finance they do on season tickets if you pay it before a certain time. So just do that. Give fans a chance. But I'm happy to pay a deposit just to secure my season tickets. I don't want to lose my seat.
I think that might, because a mate of mine, he's got a season ticket over to Tottenham, and I'm sure he said he had to, or they were looking for a 20% sort of down payment to secure.
Yeah, I think that's the norm,
from the previous season. So
the thing is, I find it a bit crass if they're going to start asking people for money up, especially with what's going on in the world. I mean, I'll be honest, I ain't got the money to pay for it at this time.
I don't think they will. I don't think they will, mate. They know the situation. You know, they know that. You know what's going on in the world, and I can't see them just turning around and saying, "Right, you got to pay this all up front now." They've got to give you some sort of schedule or deadline to pay it by. And by that I mean like a 3-month period to pay it off or something like that.
I ain't even. The thing is with it, right? I ain't even interested. And this is just me. Like people are going to be different, and people might call me this, but I'm not interested in going back when it's 40% capacity.
It's going to be shit.
Yeah, it's going to be.
How they going to decide who goes back and who don't?
Well, there's some sort of fucking ballot thing or some sort of, rota thing or whatever. But I'm not interested in going back when it's 40% capacity. I'm not interested in that. Like it's not going to be the football that we know and love. I don't want to just go and watch the game. I want to experience everything I experience at football, and a full crowd there, or you can
still do that, mate. You can still turn up late when there's 40% there.
Why can't they do this then? If it's 40% allowed, why don't they get the people that aren't interested in going back and experiencing like the poor atmosphere and all of that to say, do you know what? We'll hold on to your seat, but you can miss this season. Because they need people. It's better for them if certain people opt out themselves, because then they ain't got to worry about who's going to get and who's going to miss out.
As long as they let you keep your seat.
Exactly. Let you keep the seat and you opt out.
Send everyone an email or whatever, or you can go on the club website, register your details and say, look, I'll be honest, I'm not interested in coming back at the moment because I don't feel safe or whatever. And they just take the engine. As Dan said, it sort of makes it easier for them to decide, because they might even get less than 40% that want to go back. And then they'll be thinking, all right, fuck me. We've just got Claret and you in the box.
Yeah, I mean, can you imagine though, standing there, right, where your seat is and having like this big distance around you and you're standing watching the game. Yeah, exactly.
For yourself.
Yeah, you score.
The seats.
Just running down the aisle to the front, having a surge.
You've got to run 100 yards just to cuddle someone and go, yeah, but you can't cuddle them because of social distancing. And you've got mask on.
Everyone's, as you score, everyone's getting their mask out, and going, yeah, running the fucking airplane.
Yeah, that's not why we go to football, really, is
it? Transport links are going to be fucking awful. You know what I mean? Like, imagine all this social distancing on fucking. I honestly can't see. I can't see how it's going to work because, pubs, everything that's to do with football, really getting in. Imagine getting in. It's fucking bad enough to get in as it is.
Oh yeah.
Imagine the queue. You've got to stand 2 meters apart from everyone. They'd be getting down to fucking Waterden Road. You know what I mean?
It's going to be horrendous.
Yeah, getting in. Apparently, they're going to take temperature checks. What happens if you get there and you've travelled a long distance and you get there and you're fucking 1 degree over the temperature and I go, sorry, mate.
Yeah, but say you've had to run from the station to get there in time and you've
it takes
yourself off.
Temperature, not your outside temperature. It takes
the thing is, you're cementing it even more for me that like it's just not worth the hassle of going back until things are back to normal, because it's a hassle enough going to that place. Honestly, it's enough of a hassle as it is without, like you said, temperature checks, 2 meter distance queues.
I think I'd respect West Ham more if they turn around and said, because say for instance, you can have full capacity back in December, January time. Right, I'd respect West Ham more if they turn around and said, right, it's not fair that everyone can't be there. Let's just leave it. Let's just say, right, no one comes back until January, February time, or December, January time, if that's when we can all go back. But there will be some people that's itching to go to the football. And don't get me wrong, yes, I do want to go, but at the moment, I'd rather let someone else go, and I'd rather see it at home because I'm actually enjoying it more at home.
Yeah, and don't forget, we'll probably have to wear a mask as well watching the football. So you're standing there for bloody 2 hours with your mask on as well, and all of that shit. It's just there's not going to be an enjoyable experience.
I took my boy up to Smith's today. he wanted to get. He's got a bit of birthday money left over. He hadn't had a chance to spend it because, because of the lockdown and all that stuff. And he wanted to go to Smith's today. He wanted to buy himself a new Nerf gun. So we went there today, and it become mandatory today that you have to wear a mask in the shop. And like it's baffling to me because, as I said, I think I said this last week. Where I grew up, they didn't want people wearing masks in their shop. Do you know what I mean? They wanted They wanted to see who the fuck it was. So
I'm surprised no one's robbed the bank yet.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, but they'll rob them without a mask. Do it the other way around.
Yeah, if you fucking see someone walking in a shop with a mask, mate, you started to leave the shop. You know what I mean? Because you think something's going down here. But yeah, it's a bit crazy. Like, and that's not going to be. You've heard the Prime Minister saying last week that they're working on a vaccine for it and all of that. Obviously, the world's going to be working on a vaccine, but they're not sure whether it'll be this year or even next. I don't know. You're getting spikes in other countries. I think in America they've just let it fucking run wild. They couldn't. They fucking found out. You got all these people fucking walking around protesting, wearing masks and protesting being stuck indoors, and it's just spreading the fucking virus like wild.
I think Barcelona have had another spike as well.
Yeah, Barcelona. They're shutting France down, and it's. I don't even think this has started yet. I
want to obviously we'll go back to football, but I just want to say that this mask thing should have been done months ago. We're a small island compared to the rest of the world, and what we should have done was shut down our borders. No one goes out, no one comes in. Everyone wear masks, and it would have been a lot better. But they allowed things to go on, which it's out of our hands. We can't do nothing about it. But I'm still sitting here 4 months on, 5 months on, and lucky enough, touch wood, I ain't caught coronavirus. So I've played by the rules. I've done what I've had to do. So it's let's just hope that we're in a lot better position now than what we was 3 months ago. So let's just hope now that we can fucking get rid of this thing, because it's just dragging out now, and it's this. I
tell you what, if them fan clubs and all of that and haven't put across the points that we've put across, then I honestly don't know what they're doing in that position then, because this is something that everyone will think about. That's what they need to be raising.
For the basics of the show, look, I spoke to Paul Colburn the other day, and he was saying that they was going in for a meeting. I didn't ask him what they was discussing or whatever, but I read something on Woosa just for research purposes because we was going to talk about it on the thing tonight. They don't even fucking tell you what they said. They just said they went and met them. I mean, what sort of organisation is that? They're meant to be representing fans and members and all that. Now they're asking people to email in suggestions, but only their members.
Yeah,
the rest of us don't count. Apparently, I don't get it.
Yeah, I don't like it. I think it's a bit.
Some of these organisations, as I said before, we say this all the time. The people they give polls to, the people they want to meet to sort all this stuff out and all of that sort of stuff, don't represent me. They don't represent you. They're only interested in making themselves look important and things like that. So
that's why polls are here, because it only represents a small portion of a small percent, and the percentage they want to target as well.
They should be doing their own market research and asking people, everybody that's on the club's database, what they think they should do about something like this. They shouldn't be inviting people like, this is my opinion, people like Woosa into a meeting and saying like, what do you think? Because they're obviously not asking anyone what they think.
Yeah, it's all a bit too hush-hush for my liking.
Yeah, it's just been bollocks. Like, you get some sort of fucking poll on Claret and You next week. They're advertising heavy site. What do you think we should do with season tickets? And 2,000 people to vote.
Yeah. I mean, I'm very eager to see what they do. I'm trying. I mean, it's a bit of an hassle because they changed the website. So I'm trying to see if I can get my refund. Because obviously you get your refund, you don't lose your season ticket. It means you can just have the cash instead of swapping it for straight season ticket. But again, like I said, if I'm not looking to try and go back, But if they try and say, well, if you don't go back in October, then you're going to lose your season ticket, well, then there's going to be a big fuss kicking up from a lot of people. So I like to see them do that.
And we do know you like to kick up the fuss, Dan.
I do like to kick up the fuss. When there's fusses needing to be kicked up, I will kick up that fuss.
Dan,
don't worry about that.
Dan's your man. Dan's your man.
Anyway, we've got 5 minutes before we go to questions, so we should sort of preview the Villa game. I think last game of the season.
No. Great, get your knob out, swing it round.
Yeah, go on, Gray.
5 minutes, do a windmill and sing a song.
Subscribers right up.
Obviously, West Ham going to the game. You know, we're safe. Villa, massive game for them. They need the point. That's why I said the other day, I think this is going to be such an open game on Sunday that I can see West Ham nicking it. You know, because Villa are going to want it so much that I think they're going to leave themselves exposed. But I still think that Watford are going to somehow. I can see Bournemouth and Watford winning. That's what sort of makes it so tight down there. But no, I think we're going to beat Villa on Sunday. I think they're going to want it so much that they're going to just leave themselves open. Look, they've got some good players, McGuinn, Grealish, you know, players like that. You know, it's going to be a good game. But I think I'd
like to see the players sort of really take it seriously as the last game of the season at home and just go all out. Do you know what I mean? And
I think they will. And I'd like to see David Moyes maybe mix it up a bit, give players like Yarmolenko a start, maybe Haller a start. He hasn't had a start. Yeah, you know, I'd like to see him mix it up because we haven't got nothing to lose now. Give Antonio a little bit of a break. Bring him on at half time if we need a goal or whatever. But yeah, just.
Well, if we're so skint, mate, I don't think the owners will see it that way.
Yeah.
Thing is, for Villa, coming and sitting back's not an option for them. They've got to go for it, haven't they?
Yeah, that's true. The point is,
I think we tend to play better when teams are coming at us because it leaves them a bit more open at the back, and we can counter with a little bit more pace.
You know, we want to play football where we know that the pressure's on them. So if the longer we keep the ball, they're going to make mistakes. They're going to cause fouls, and the game, you know, it's going to be a tight game. But I just think we're going to edge it. I think Villa may be the ones to sort of go down with. I can see Watford nicking a win because Arsenal got the FA Cup final next week. They're going to put their reserves out and play people like Ozil and things like that.
Apparently, Arteta said people are playing for their FA Cup places. So that'd be interesting.
Yeah, but they're 10th in the league. It's their lowest league position for 25 years. They can't. I think they can move up one space, which ain't going to make much difference to them. So they want to win the FA Cup this season. So I can just see him maybe resting. He ain't going to play like Aubameyang against.
If Aubameyang gets injured in that game,
exactly,
that's it.
Exactly, because if they win the FA Cup, they go into Europe. So
this is the way I see it panning out. Right, I think Arsenal will beat Watford. I think we'll beat Villa, but I think Bournemouth will beat Everton and stay up.
Interesting.
Yeah, I mean, there's all different scenarios.
So many possibilities, isn't it?
I think at one point of the day, every single one of them teams will be outside the bottom three. It'll be like that tight, and then obviously you've got the race for fourth for Champions League, which is interesting because Man United play Leicester. But yeah, I don't know. I can just see I can see Watford beating Arsenal. I can, but
so the thing is, against Man City the other day, Bournemouth give them a real game.
But this is the thing. If
they play like that, I can see them nicking a win against Everton.
Everton, I don't even think they'll nick it. Everton have been piss poor, really bad.
Yeah, I mean they've been very inconsistent, but
they still got a great result the other day against Sheffield United away. And yeah, Everton have probably been on holiday for the last 3 or 4 games. But yeah, it's going to be, you know, sometimes when teams want it too much, it leaves them open and exposed. And that's when teams like Everton are sort of punish a Bournemouth. And I don't know. I just think there's something about Watford. They're so shit that they could stay up. That's
sacking Pearson, though, was, I think, a bizarre decision for them going towards the end of the season.
We were saying the other night about it.
That's the thing. Whether Hayden Mullins can
someone said earlier that they've been launching Villa podcasts and they've been basically saying they've got the points in the bag. So
yeah, Yeah, but they're going to expect it, like, because they probably think West Ham are safe now. They don't really care. But I think with David Moyes, I don't think he's got that attitude that he wants to end the season losing. He wants to go out on a high. Like, we've had a good run, and there's players that are sort of playing for their places in the squad next season. Some of them. So I fancy us to nick it, and I think. Well, I say nick it. I'm going for 3-1.
Nick, West Ham. Nick it 3-1.
No, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying nicking it, but I'm going to go for a 3-1. I think it'll be comfortable.
I think it'll be tight, and I think we'll go 2-1 up, and then I think we'll win 4-1.
Wow.
I do. Honestly, I just think they're going to go all out, and I think they might lose their heads as well. And I can see Grealish, if he's not going his way, fucking chucking himself on the floor and getting sent off. And it's one of them days, isn't it? It's you remember QPR at Man City. Sometimes when you're in that situation and the pressure's so high, silly things are going to happen, and they start fucking kicking people, and
like Jay Barton trying to headbutt everyone.
I think Bournemouth. I think, as I said, I think we'll beat Villa. I think we'll beat them quite comfortably. I think that Arsenal will beat Watford, but I think Bournemouth will beat Everton.
The only thing that worries me is we're not on Sky Sports, we're on BT, and we usually play shit when we're on BT.
Yeah, maybe.
I don't know. We beat Bournemouth 4-0 on BT in January.
Yeah, I was at the game. I didn't watch that.
It's when you watch it on BT, isn't it?
Let's get some questions in. Anyone got anything to ask? We're going to do about 30 minutes now or so, where we're going to take any questions and whatever. If you want something to say, get it in now. We'll get it up on the screen or whatever.
How old's Ryan?
How old's Ryan, says Graham.
I know how old he is. He's coming to play vets football.
It's nice. It's nice that my hair's actually grown back now. I need to. I'm having another little trim on one day next week, just around the sides, but I'm going to keep it growing on top. It's nice.
Oh, did we speak about this? Chris Mills got confirmation of a new seat in the post. Wednesdale's right behind the goal in a Bobby Moore lower. Now been moved 18 yards away to the right. My mate, who's been going with me for 25 years, got moved 3 feet the other way. The club are fucking useless.
Someone else asked for opinions.
Yeah, there's been a lot of there's been a lot of
controversy, uproar.
Yeah, it's been a lot of uproar about this seating thing. I don't know how they're fucking working this out, because they are moving people. Someone got moved into another stand.
Yeah, I mean that
one. We said it the other day, didn't we?
My French for swearing there.
It doesn't. Obviously where we sit, it doesn't affect us. But yeah, until these people, some people might get there and actually think that it's a bad view, but they might get there and think, oh, this is actually a better view. So until the first game, you can go back. It's hard to judge it. But yeah, I do feel sorry for some people that have been moved right.
Especially when you've been sitting with your mate for God knows how many years, and then you suddenly both get moved in.
There's less seats, basically. Is that the situation? Is that the end result? There's less seats.
But again, they should have. I don't think there's less seats. I just think it's the.
You said people have been moved
or whatever. But the thing, what you're going to do is obviously when you change in the shape of the stand and whatever, and the middle is going to have more. Because it used to curve, it's going to have more than if it goes straight. But what they need to do is they need to sort of write to people and say, do you sit with anyone? Because we're going to, we need to reconfigure it and all of that sort of thing. They should have written to people. But what they're doing is they're just fucking moving people left, right and centre. And, as he just said, he's ended up 18 yards one side and his mates ended up 18 yards the other side.
Oh, that's ridiculous. That's absolutely ridiculous. That's they should do better on that front. They really should. I'd be very interested as well if they end up squaring off the West Stand or the Betway Stand and the Billy Bond Stand, and do the same thing.
Maybe.
I don't know why they haven't looked into that. But apparently a lot of people are saying that it's still complaining. It's still cable ties and scaffolding.
It's always going to be cable ties and scaffolding. That's the problem. It's never going to change. I mean,
never going to be retractable seating.
No, it's that retractable seating. I think the point, the mistake the club made when that all went tits up is they didn't say it's not retractable seating anymore. They didn't say the company went bust and we ain't got it. It's now scaffolding. They just fucking tried to pretend it didn't exist, and you know, yeah, it does retract. Yeah, it retracts when about fucking 20 builders come in and these struck the scaffolding. I remember one day I went down there and they was first time, and this is before I even knew that it wasn't retractable, because I thought at the beginning it was retractable, and I see them dismantling it and putting it. I'll tell you where it all was. You know that little community pitch? They put all the stand over there. I was like, what the fuck's going on here? I thought they'd evicted us.
Fucking shambles.
Kicked
Absolutely
out.
shambles. That is. But yeah, so I think until we they get the athletics out, get rid of that, there's not too much we can do with it, is there really?
There's
Until
going to be no athletics in there again, I don't think, ever.
Interested.
Nah, actually, it's not financially viable for the changes they have to make. The amount of people that get over there for the athletics, it's not. You know, I mean, Usain Bolt and that was a big pull before, so you got full houses on the day he was running. But you ain't going to get that now. Huh?
Bolt, did you say?
Yeah, you know, but yeah, when they done like the Diamond League meetings, you had like Usain Bolt, Mo Farah.
Yeah, but it's live now.
Usain Bolt and Mo Farah there. You know,
Exactly.
you get the crowds in, but
Yeah.
you know, you're not going to get that now. So
Now you get
which is why they probably started having baseball and stuff
now
over
you
there.
get
Like
most
that, you know?
later there now.
Mo Slater.
Go on, Graham, you pick a question, mate.
I can't see them.
You can't see them.
No, they don't. They don't show up on mine.
Let's have a look. Start sending in your questions. Get some good, interesting questions in. I can't really. Let's have a look.
There's someone asked about, is it true? Well,
Opinions on a new away kit. I think it will be one of them kits that look better on. I agree. I totally agree with that. I think
I
it's.
actually don't mind it. I think it looks all right.
Yeah, I
it's just the
looked at it,
sleeves.
and I looked at it and I thought it don't look all that. It's and then I see it on Antonio and I thought, yeah, no, it actually does look decent. I think it's one of the ones you got to look in the club shop and look at it yourself and just decide on yourself. I would have preferred the Betway in maybe white or like a light blue or something like that. But yeah, I just I think it's
Or
one
even
of them.
a claret. It could have been done it in a claret to go with the strips. They're not even hoops.
I've got to admit, I've seen it without the sponsor. It looks all right without the sponsor on it.
Yeah, I think it does look better without the sponsor on the away shirt, because having the second hoop sort of retracts from not having a sponsor on it. So if it was just plain all the way down and one hoop up there, it looked shit. But no, I think it does look better without.
I don't mind it. I would have preferred the
I don't quite like it.
to be a little bit closer, maybe do something with it. But you know, I like that traditional.
See, I wasn't a fan.
No matter what you think about the kit, right? The training kits are dripping in sauce, mate. I don't care what anybody says.
I wasn't a fan of the home shirt. And then when I see it, I actually liked it, and I treated myself to it. I did get myself I went a bit nuts. I did get myself the training top as well, but I had to take it back. And I just fucking never replaced it. So I will get another one. But yeah, they are nice.
Trucking Hammer says, Nick, has your neighbour ever complained about your dog ends in their garden?
Yeah, you chuck them over, but that's not the garden, is it? That's the alleyway.
No, there's nothing there. That's I'm semi-detached. I'm on the end.
So hold up, you litter your dog ends on the street.
Yeah, that's it. And fucking have a row with him, mate.
Yeah, you
Filthy
tell him, Dave, go on.
bastard! What a dirty bastard!
You're the
Why don't you get
scum
an
that-
ashtray?
You're the scum that brings this country down, Nick.
Yeah.
Be
Why
my
would
ashtray.
No,
Why would you do
what
that?
I do is chuck them over there, then I go out there and sweep them all up.
Yeah, of course you do.
What ashtrays were invented for?
Yeah,
Put an
exactly,
ashtray.
Greg.
Why don't you just have
What?
a shit? Why don't you just have a shit in a plastic bag and log it in the field?
Go get a West Ham ashtray, right, from the club shop.
Send me one. What's the
Say
fuck
that-
in your garden?
We could use one of our pint glasses that we ain't got yet.
Let's start a Kickstarter or a GoFundMe. Buy Nicky.
That
a
little
bloody-
hint there, right?
Yeah,
Oh,
Nicky
yeah.
someone's put. I bet Nicky is a fly tipper. Yeah, I reckon he is as well.
Yeah, I mean that's just not on, is it?
All right, Nick, don't worry, but I won't say that mattress down the dump. Don't worry.
I'll burn it. What else you want to? Come on, then. Let's get the next question in.
Someone said,
Go on, Daniel.
oh
What?
shit!
Oh, Fucking hell. Oh, hang on.
No.
My cousin's on here, Fred Archer. I'll leave him on.
Oh, yeah, he said, do you think
Tony Cottee will ever lead a consortium to buy West Ham United? Sorry, Dan.
that's the one I picked? No, that's the one I was looking at.
Yeah,
Tony. I haven't heard about. I haven't heard about.
well,
This,
he was rumoured, wasn't he, to be involved in a consortium to buy the club.
Yeah, that was a few years ago, wasn't it?
Yeah, I don't know whether unless he's involved with the Trip Smith sort of consortium, I don't know, but I don't think Tony Cottee's got the money to buy the club himself. But Lee Day, I've seen he's asked this a couple of times. How tall are all of you? Graham, how tall are you, mate?
I am 6 foot.
Bollocks.
There, a couple of millimeters in it.
I'm 5'8", but with me Cuban heels, I'm 5'10".
I used to be 6'2", but now I'm 6'1".
Yeah, you'll shrink. We all shrink. That's why I'm trying to grow my hair. I'm trying to grow my hair, so I'm going to be a bit taller.
Yeah, I'm same as Ryan, 5'8".
You're growing your hair to be a bit taller.
Exactly. Yeah, that's what I'm doing. I'm gonna have to try and back comb it up. That's what I'm gonna have to do. Otherwise, it will just grow out to the side. So I'm gonna have to fucking comb
Feel
it
like
up.
Willy Wonka.
Roger, you guys are doing a brilliant job. Thank you so much, mate. Really appreciate it.
Thank you, Roger. Thank you very much.
Anyone got any footage of Nicky bossing it up front back in the day?
No, because it never happened.
There's a couple
it was before.
flying about when we played at Upton Park, but I've never seen them.
Do you know
I've
what?
got his mental images of Nicky bossing it and smashing people.
That first season we played there, I think I've still got the DVD somewhere. But when I set up Glenn for the goal and they show it in slow motion action replay and I play that nice through ball, I love that. Proper.
You should put it on internet. Put it online.
There is I might do that. A couple of DVDs flying about when we played at Upton Park.
I'll have to try and dig out me. I think I've got them somewhere. The ones from when we played at Upton Park.
I think that was
you there the first season.
No, I was there second season, but I think that they were the days when I went for the. I don't know. I can't remember. I think I had like Brule Cream gel, but you know when you used to spike your hair all over, so it looked like you had a fucking electric shock. It was that era. So I don't think I'd want to see my hair back then. That was about 2004, wasn't it? 2005.
There's a photo of me somewhere. Someone's got a photo of me somewhere lining up in right when you line up when you get to thingy.
Oh yeah, massive bollocks for some reason.
And my balls were fucking huge.
Going on, everyone's frozen up.
Oh great! What have you done, Ray? What's he done?
No, you all froze up. You went all weird.
I had a pair of
happened.
white shorts on. Me and Ryan are sand sandwich. I mean, we're laughing, but my balls are fucking massive.
Yeah, I was probably looking at you going, why is your balls massive?
They was fucking huge, man.
I just remember those. Nick, do you remember them shorts you wore? You look like a 1950s footballer.
Yeah, that was funny, man.
The big. What was it? The big old baggy ones.
Well,
no, do you remember the ones when we turned up to Barking Borough and they was like fucking, they'd been painted on? They look like
mate, they look like Speedos. You got any more? Like, no, you got to wear it.
I got there last, and it was the last pair in the fucking bag, and they looked like a pair of white fronts. Do you remember, right?
Yeah.
Mate, I'm taking Billy around trying to get the big ones off.
Yeah, Billy had fucking Jimmy Grimble shorts on.
Yeah.
And Nicky looked like remember Goldmember when he had them gold hot pants on? like a prime Kylie Minogue.
The fucking even the shirt I had weren't baggy, was it?
No, James Fincham.
That's what happens when you turn up late, Nick. You get the shit kit at the bottom of the bag.
Yeah.
No, Scott's working tonight. He's he's working. He tried to make it back, but he got home and thought, "Fuck it, I can't be bothered." So,
yeah, I thought you fell. Hold on.
What's that?
Hey, I thought you'd fell over then.
Yeah, and he couldn't get up.
No, my chair's fucked. It's like it don't sit.
Dan's going out the window in a minute. Look at him. Look.
Yeah, I will. I can't.
What's he doing?
This chair's fucked.
Shorts like they're sprayed on.
Oh, I tell you. You've never seen anything like it. Even the other team's players were laughing at me.
Rick Ferguson, I'm David Sullivan in disguise. That was when you was running down the wing and the shirt was riding up and you was pulling it down.
Don't be silly, mate. I've never been on a fucking wing in my life.
This is a good one. Who do you want to win the championship playoffs? Because obviously you got two London clubs, West London clubs, and 2 Welsh clubs. So obviously travelling wise,
I'd like to see Brentford come up.
Lee Barry says meat. Graham, that's for you. That is meat. That's his nickname for you, meat.
I prefer
my head, the size of my head.
To be honest,
I'd like to see Brentford because they've never been up. However, the only reason I'm apprehensive about saying Brentford is because obviously we want to sign a couple players off them, right? So that's going to change things if they
I'll
do
be honest
come
with you,
up.
I don't care who wins. I just want either Fulham or Brentford because I can't be bothered to go to Wales.
Yeah, Nottingham Forest absolutely bottled it, didn't they? Because they was up there for ages. They was in that position.
Brentford had such a good opportunity because if they would have won their game before the last game, they would have gone into to second position and they just bottled it. But yeah, I mean, look, next season we go to Ellen Road. Hopefully, fingers crossed, if we're allowed back to football. And West Brom's always a sort of decent away trip because it's not too far. But yeah,
what is the score on away games? Because obviously we talked about the home games and all the distancing and all the measures. What's happening? What's going to happen with away games?
Oh, same thing, I imagine.
Because obviously
they probably just won't allow it.
Yeah, I can't see away fans being allowed at football.
You just can't.
Yeah, not for a while.
Yeah, so we probably might not get to go to these grounds.
Alex Hegarty says, "Did Nicky sell his size 13 World Cup boots?" No, I didn't. They're still up there, mate. You're quite welcome to them if you want them.
Bloody hell, Nick.
You with a big old plates of meat.
Lee Davis said Ryan can't be bothered to go to Wales, but he's straight to Newcastle away.
It's not that I can't be bothered to go to Wales. It's just that, but Newcastle's a brilliant night out, isn't it? You know that one, Gray.
A lot of people say Cardiff is good.
Yeah, Cardiff. No, do you know what? I'll take it back. Fuck it. Whoever. It'd be.
Lee Davis sounds like a Welsh name as well, so I think you might have.
Yeah, nothing. I've got nothing against Wales. I've had some good time in Wales. You know what I mean? The sheep. The sheep are lovely down
there. Ryan's had a go on a few sheep, has he?
Oh, mate.
Right, can't be bothered to go to Wales, but you go to Newcastle. Yeah, I can't be bothered. I mean, if I've got a choice, it's going to be fucking London. I'm sorry, but
Nicky wants a nice little Fulham on the district line.
Yeah, exactly.
just don't get caught in the turnstiles again.
Gary Pay says, "What school did you go?" I went Cumberland. I was. I see someone earlier as well. We'll put these two questions together. Did any professional footballers go to your school?
Chris Hughton went mine.
I think Eastleigh. We had Kevin Hitchcock, Frank Lampard Senior. Who else? Danny Williamson went Eastleigh. Sorry.
Yeah.
There is someone else I can't remember now. There is an old player as well that even before Lampard Senior, because Eastleigh was obviously Pretoria at the time. So
I think, like when Cumberland was
Patrick Kanukia.
when Cumberland was another school, I can't remember. It merged with 2 schools, so it's a little bit of a cop out. But quite a few ex-West Ham players like Paul Brush and I think it's Plaster Grammar, Paul Brush and Alan Kirbishley and players like that went there, and my old man went to school with them and all that. But Cumberland, I think, and I might be wrong, but I'm pretty sure he left just before I got there. Muzzy Izzet was a Cumberland boy.
Graham, weren't you 3 years above Vic Watson?
Yeah, I was, yeah. every week, that one comes out.
You got to get it now.
Yeah, and I went St Bonaventures.
You had Jermaine Defoe?
Yes, you're right.
Oh.
Yeah, Jermaine Defoe went there.
Yeah, Jermaine Defoe.
Yeah, Chris Hughton. Can't think of it. Can't think off the top of my head. There's 2 I know. I can't think off the top of my head of anyone else.
Dan?
Sorry, I went to put the fan on and then lost my earphones. The fan's not coming through the mic, is it? Can you hear the fan?
Do you have any of a prized piece of West Ham memorabilia?
I do indeed.
What you got, Gray?
I've got an autograph book from 1986 with the whole 1985-86 squad autographs in it.
I've got me signed Bobby Moore piece, but I've actually, do you know what? I'm still waiting to hear back from the shop. You remember the poster I had behind me, the signed 1980 FA Cup final squad? Well, I'm having that professionally framed, but I'm having it done. I've got the original program from the game and an original ticket going into the frame as well with all pictures. I'm hoping to pick that up next week because I wanted they could have done it straight away, but I wanted the frames to match my Bobby Moore ones. So I'm looking forward to getting that back. So yeah.
Yeah, the only thing I'm not big on memorabilia in that. So the only thing I've got is my signed Paolo Di Canio picture.
I haven't got any sort of West Ham. The only match worn West Ham shirt I've got is Michael Carrick's from the last season he was with us. I think he was about his fourth or third game from before he left us. But yeah, I've got that. My nephew got the wrong end of the stick there. He got Brian Dean's shirt, so I kept Michael Carrick's because I knew that he'd go further in the game and win more things. But that's the only West Ham shirt I've got. I'm hoping that next season I'll be able to get a Martin Noble one. I'm going to try my best to get a Martin Noble one. I had a Martin Noble one, but obviously I'll give it away to charity. So,
yeah, it'd be nice.
I'm not that big on memorabilia. We have as a channel, we've got a couple of pieces. We've got, I think we got an Artson shirt signed from that era. Everton give us a match worn shirt. And we've got a couple of bits and pieces give to us, but most of the stuff we've ever got as a channel we've given away to charity and all of that sort of stuff. And you probably wouldn't have heard it because we've done it pretty quietly. But my prize piece of memorabilia was what Ryan bought for me for my 30th, and that was my Paolo Di Canio picture. But I don't really, I've got a shirt in there from 06 what I bought a couple of weeks ago for. I found it in a charity shop and I picked it up for cheap. And I've got, bits and pieces and signed Billy Bond's drawing and things like that. But yeah, it's got to be the Canio picture. And I'll be honest with you, he's my all-time idol. And I'm not one of these people that hold on to these things. You know what I mean? And I've met him now. And yeah, it just means a lot to me because it was for my 30th. But I've met him.
Yeah, I mean, you from our 30th, you got me my Julian Dick signed one, and I've got that to go up on the wall as well. And I'm looking to do a nice little sort of background for future videos and that. But yeah, I've got me Billy Bonds one as well that my wife got for me for my birthday a couple of years ago, and it was personally signed to me, saying to Ryan and up the hammers and all that. Love Billy Bonds and all that. So they mean a lot to me. Them sort of things. So,
I had a shirt, and the shirt you gave to me, Ryan, actually, was the 1980 shirt. And I was working. I used to do get desk fitting. And Trevor Brooking was working at the FA at the time. He used to have an office.
I remember this.
Right next door to the office I was working in. And I'll never forget it. It was like, it's Trevor Brooking, And every time I walked past, I was like lingering in the doorway and all of that. And I was going back there the next day, so and I knew he was going to be there the next day, so I took the shirt with me. But I was so, when you're so shy to ask, and I wanted to get it signed. And he said, I was walking past the door and I was trying to pluck up the courage and all that. And the guy that was sort of like the site manager at Wembley, he went to me, are you a West Ham fan? And I said, yeah. I showed him a tattoo. He went, I've seen you walk past that door about 60 times since you've been here, and you keep on looking in. Is there, you want to say something? And I said, I've got a shirt and I want him to sign it. He went, just go in. He's going to be fine. And I went in, and I was so fucking nervous and I was so shy. I just went in. I said, Mr. Brooking, I'm a massive fan. And he's like, fucking head down, and he's fucking booked. And I went, oh, okay. massive West Ham fan. And I bought this shirt. I popped this shirt out of me fucking like trousers. I went, there's no you could sign it for me, is there? And he was going, of course. He put it down, and yeah, real nice man, made me feel at ease. But I was just so nervous I couldn't have a conversation with him. You know, he's like West Ham royalty, isn't he? So
yeah. Sam Zini says, "Who's your favourite other West Ham YouTube channel?"
I like.
I don't think I've got another favourite. The thing is with me is I like watching other West Ham channels. I like hearing different views and opinions. Obviously, we get on well with the boys at Hammers Chat. I think they do a great job over there. The West Ham Way do a great job. JP does a great job. Free Hammers. There's loads out there, but I actually like my Hammers 11. I like watching all the different that Russ does. I do. I think he's had some great guests on there, and I was on there last week, and it was an honor. It's a privilege.
I was supposed to get back to him about next week. You just reminded me.
But yeah, no, it's great. I mean, he had Devonshire on there the other day, and he's had some great. And it's really good to hear everyone's different stories and favourite 11s and things like that. So,
yeah, so I like watching all the different. Like Ryan says, it's nice to get different viewpoints, isn't it?
Yeah,
I like Emma's Chat's my favourite. I like dipping into the West Ham Way podcast. I like American Hammers.
They're not a YouTube. That's not. You said YouTube channel.
No, well, yeah, but in terms of podcasts, I like their podcast.
Yeah, I might say.
I like just listening to opinions, but my favourite Hammers Chat.
I do like American Hammers because I think it's like it's a different vibe, isn't it? I think it's something completely different in terms of they're putting this out there for and attracting American fans, and it's an American point of view. They do these sort of wacky game shows and all sorts of things they do. So I like what they do, and again, it's helping spread the West Ham name in the States.
So like the American Hammers, I say, I've been on their thing. They're really nice guys.
They're just on too fucking late.
Yeah. That's the hard thing being over here.
Corey Kemp, any of you into boxing? If so, AJ or Fury?
Bump you, right? Rise the boxing. Boxing.
Well, yeah, it's no secret. I love the boxing. For me, AJ Fury all day long. Sorry, I like AJ, but Fury all day long for me. Did any of you see yesterday about Mike Tyson making a comeback?
Against Roy.
It's a glorified sparring match. They've got to wear head guards and things like that. And I just think, obviously, Tyson does need the money because he's not as rich as everyone thinks he is. But it's a shame that someone like Mike Tyson has to do that at 54 years old. But look, I'll watch it because Tyson's my all-time favourite. So, of course, I'm going to watch it. Yeah, for me, Tyson Fury all day long over AJ.
Snazzy Azzy says, I don't watch boxing, so I ain't got an opinion on that. Snazzy Azzy, do any of you boys know the true Geordie? Would be good to see you boys on his podcast in the future. No, I can't say I do. I don't know him. I've been in his presence once.
I've been in his presence, the mighty true Geordie.
I just mean the way you said the same place at the same time. I know Lawrence McKenna better, but I wouldn't say I was like best mates with him but I have spoke to Lawrence quite a few times, and we're never going to be on their podcast, mate. Never.
Yeah. Listen, if he's getting Robbie Williams on there, he's not going to invite us, is he? He's all for the views. You know what I mean?
I don't watch True Geordie. I never have. He's just someone that I don't know. I just don't.
Not your cup of tea.
Yeah, he's not my cup of tea. I don't know. I'm not saying he's a bad person, but it's just not someone I was ever really
I was sort of more interested in what he did when he was, more of a Newcastle channel, when he was talking about Newcastle, because I'd just like to hear a Newcastle perspective on the things they were going to, and that's when they was going through some really bad stuff. So I used to watch the Newcastle stuff, and obviously he's gone away from that a bit, like the Newcastle stuff.
I like his podcast. I do like him. He's a good
I watch his stuff,
I'm not. I don't listen to too many.
I don't listen to as many as I used to. I used to listen to them all, but You know, they come out.
Thomas, here, you guys are bigger than Robbie Williams writing that Angels song's about you. Yeah, I've always thought that, you know. I've always thought when Robbie says Angels, he's really saying Ryan.
If you really listen to it, you can see.
Yeah, I can feel it from Robbie. You know, listen, I'm a big Robbie fan. I'm not going to knock Robbie Williams.
Look at this one. Why did Graham?
He did.
Because I'll be honest with you, I would look weirder with thinner eyebrows.
Don't have to go mad, but
he has Adam Pluck. He had the lawnmower over him earlier.
Well, that was
I'm going to go and get my hair cut.
We was going to do the eyebrow threading, wouldn't we, for Graham? Because Jay said that, and we was going to.
You should have some. Graham, you should just do it, mate. Just go for the thin ones. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but then I'd have a lot of permanent surprise look on my face.
You know,
just really
your forehead would look 10 foot taller.
Graham, they grow back, mate. They do grow back.
I'll probably look like David Guest or something.
Do it then. Do it.
Right.
That could be Nicky's forfeit. Graham shaves his eyebrows.
Nicky's forfeit, and I've got to do it. Yeah?
Somebody asked earlier, did you hear anything back from Lewis? No, I didn't. He
this was a good one. Oh God, sorry, mate. Go on.
No, I was just going to say, like, when they lost the next game, and they was, I was only on a bit of a wind up with him, like, but because I'd said all that stuff about you'll never see me on their channel and I won't collab with them and all that. They lost the next game, and they was asking people to go on the YouTube channel, and I replied back and I said, like, I've changed my mind. Just send me the link because they'd lost, and they just sent back a laughing emoji and then one of them. So
yeah, that's fair play. You know, it takes it. You know, good.
If the four of you were a boy band, who would be the gay one?
What a question! I don't know. You tell us. You tell us.
It definitely be you, Frank.
Dig me out.
Because you got a nice affair.
Do you know what? If I'm getting paid the millions, I'll take one for the team. Fuck it. I'd rather see me go through the pain than Graham.
Well, I did say I would eat spunk last week, so I suppose it'll have to be me.
On your humble pie.
Yeah.
Someone said, yeah, Sean Dyche accent. Dan, have you worked on it yet, or are you still Harry Redknapp? Oh no,
I was doing a good. No, my David Gold was brilliant. Yeah, you said my David Gold is Harry Redknapp. My Sean Dyche is
hang on,
right.
Hang on, see what I mean? It's because I've got hair. Everyone who's got the hair in a boy band is the gay one.
But Graham's got hair.
Yeah, well, just about. He's got about 4 haircuts left. On the left scanner.
Look at that. Look there. Look. There it's going.
Oh, here we go. Look, now we're getting in. Look, well, Danny's right, said Fred. Sorry, but Dan. Defo Dan.
Nah, listen, this is the Ryan fan club.
Have they hacked into your emails or something, mate? Is there something you want to tell us?
This is Ryan. This is the Ryan fan club banding round it.
That's my family. That's my family and friends.
By the way, Alex rates my David Gold impression. By the way, so
David Gold impression.
What?
Do David Gold.
All right. Nah. When I came home one day. The same day I saw my best friend shagging my wife in the swimming pool, me father ran off my mind. I sound like Steptoe. Harold. It's because I ain't eating nothing today.
You have a fucking full mouth to do a David Gold. You sound like Canning Town Lens interpretation of David Gold.
Wait, I know I did it really good the first time. I did it really good. You've got to do the his wife shagging his best friend, his father stealing the shares. That's what you got to do.
Dan loves a little sausage for breakfast. Has to be Dan. Dan, mate, what's going on here, mate?
Do you know what it is? You kicked up a fuss, and now everyone's trying to appease Ryan. Everyone was saying Ryan, and Ryan went, "Oh no! Look at that! Look at that hair! Look at the comb! Look at the parting!"
I actually did say I'll take one for the team. And that's just my natural hair. That's the way it goes.
There is about 50 products in there.
When we do
wait, whoa, hang on a minute. There is no fucking products in this hair. Look.
It's all natural.
It's all natural. That's all right, that is. That's all right.
Yeah.
When we do the quiz this year, I know I've still got to do a forfeit, and I want you to do me up, right? But between me and you, is going to be a personal one between me and you. The one that loses the quiz this year has to wear a syrup all next year.
But you got to wear a syrup like Tony Tucker in Rise of the Foot Soldier.
No, I reckon Nicky will look like Gru's twin brother out of Despicable Me 3.
The only one that's actually done their forfeit is obviously Scott. Scott done it. Graham didn't do a forfeit. You didn't do your forfeit.
I like this one. Sam Zini, if you were the in-betweeners, which one would you be?
I can't remember their names.
Who's the biggest bullshitter? Who'd be Jay?
It'd be Nicky, wouldn't it? Nicky's likes a story, didn't he? He's like, when I had my Jimmy Bring Gumball shorts on, and they were 50 feet long, weren't they? Like, that's my Nicky impression. When I
Sounds like David Sullivan, Mum.
That's my David Gold. That's actually more like a David Gold.
What's the fuck? Well, hang on a minute. Ryan looks like Woody from Toy Story. Do you know what? I'd actually take that.
No, Graham's definitely.
Graham's Buzz.
Graham's Buzz. I'm Woody.
No.
Nicky's Mr. Potato Head and Mrs. Potato Head.
Hold on a minute. We're still in between this. Graham is Neil.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've seen Graham.
He's just not quite there.
I've seen Graham's bollocks. I reckon he's Mr. Gilbert with the massive bollocks, the wrecking balls.
Mr. Gilbert.
And Dan, do your Sullivan on Brass Eye.
Oh, don't.
I'm gonna have to try and do it. Like I said, I ain't eating anything today. So I have to try and remember how he sounds. He's like, what is it? Well, I would say that. I tell you, I can't do it today. I'm too. I haven't eaten. No, that was more Fiddler on the Roof. Yeah, I'm too Fiddler on the Roof.
Oh, I'll try my dick.
Yeah.
Oh, Jim.
No, I'm doing a day of just not eating anything, a fast day. I'm getting back onto my, getting this lockdown weight shifted. That's what's got
Azzy, lads, can you update us on the Thames Ironworks? How does the season go before the COVID stuff? Do you still run it, etc., etc.? Graham, well, this was one for you, mate.
Yeah, it basically got voided, so all the divisions are staying the same. So I didn't count. They're just going to finish off the cup competitions, which the first team is still in quarter final with the West Essex Charity Cup. We've got to finish that off. But yeah, it just got voided. So they're just starting again this season. They are still going. Yes, we still are involved in it. Scott and Graham run the club now. They was the managers last year. We are looking for managers. So if anyone fancies having a go at managing, we are looking for players. If anyone has, we've got 2 teams now. We started with 1. We've now got 2. The YouTube side of it didn't quite work out. We couldn't commit to filming it every week. But they're still a club. They're still, we're going for charter standard and all of that sort of stuff. But we're always looking for players. There's a bit of work to be done, but we're still going.
I just see this question, and have you ever thrown a pie? I don't know if that's something rude and we're slipping up here, but I don't know. Have I ever chucked a pie?
I mean, have you ever thrown a pie at a game?
I threw a McDonald's apple pie at my mate's head once in school. That can't.
I've dropped a pie,
and it was hot as well.
Your face looks like a dropped pie.
Bake me to it.
If Ryan's Woody, Graham is definitely the guy.
Toffee.
Oh yeah, Graham. He needs to get the goatee. Get the goatee. Someone Photoshop Graham with the. Someone needs to Photoshop it.
Try to flog them to the Japanese. That's what you get.
Do you know what? I'd love to see someone Photoshop Graham with a goatee.
I'll tell you what. I'll tell you a story about pie.
Here we go.
It's Jay from in between us.
Do I look like I've ever thrown a pie for a start? But when we went to this fans forum once, right? And I don't know whether anyone knows Michael Curry. Michael Curry's he's a good friend of ours.
Oh, and, Mike on the fan cams.
Mike on the fan cams. Yeah, he's a good friend of ours.
I know this story.
and all of that sort of thing. But the first time we ever met him, he used to sell Olas outside the bowling. So we all went to this fucking fans forum and they put out some sort of spread. What's that?
Declan Rice just tweeted, all smiles before our last game of the season. He's happy at the club.
Yes, impressive.
Come on.
Yeah. So we went to this fans forum and they put out a buffet, right? And they had these sort of like pies and prawns and all of that sort of stuff. And Michael Curry, the first time I ever met him, he had this he got this plate of food, right? And we was talking to him. No, we were sitting next to him actually. And he got what I thought it was a cold pork pie, right? And he bit it, and I'm not joking, right? I'd had a fork in my pie just before this, right? This pie was fucking nuclear. It was like it had
like lava.
It was so hot. It was unreal, right? And he's just fucking picked up this pie and bit a big, massive chap. Right? Do you remember his face?
Mate, the geezer didn't even test the waters. He didn't even put. He just went straight in, and he's like, honestly, mate, I've never seen.
Do the face. Do the face.
He was like that. He was like an Alsatian licking water out of a bowl.
Honestly, mate, he never tested the waters. After this pie went in his fucking mouth, mate, and that stuff inside that pie was fucking nuclear. I swear on my life. It looked like a fucking. Honestly, his face was like a fucking bulldog licking a stinging nettle. It was fucking.
Mate, he bit into that pie, and it was like I see the steam coming out of his face, and like he was just like.
Oh, I can imagine.
Well, do you remember the chicken tikka pies they done over the bowling?
Yeah, balty pie.
They were like love. My mate had one. He's going. I'm going, let it cool down. And he's going, oh, I can't, it smells too nice. So it's the same thing, he's eating it. He's going, it's all in his fucking goat. I was going, for fuck's sake, just let it cool down. I said, you're making me feel sick.
Oh,
yeah, the thing about the places, though, is like they can't just warm them up. They have to make them red hot because
they sit there for like...
They're cooked properly, you know?
They sit there for like 6 hours, don't they, sometimes?
Yeah, just fucking underneath the fucking light.
Yeah, but this is a good one. Who is the FIFA king, Jace or Nicky?
I think we need a rematch. I think we need a rematch to find out. That's what I think.
I'm not as good as I used to be. I'll be honest with you. I'm not as good as I used to be.
I remember when I played Nicky, he must have had a dive button. He got my player sent off in the first minute.
Yeah, I'm not as good as I used to be. A couple of years ago, man, I would have took anyone. God's honest truth.
You won a tournament, didn't you? You won the Ball Street one.
Yeah.
This is a good bit.
Never
different.
beat me.
What do you think Premier League managers would do if they weren't involved in football? Moyes, I reckon, would be a zookeeper. Mourinho, a traffic warden. a taxi driver.
Neil Warnock.
Premier League managers.
Let's have a think.
Roy Hodgson's going to be an headmaster.
Sean Dyche looks like he'd be like he'd work in the post office. He'd work in the post office.
No, he's a bouncer.
Well,
he's either a bouncer or he's a boss at a car sales place, like a bastard.
Well, Bilic we know like straight because he's bloody would be a rock star, wouldn't he?
Yeah,
Oli Gunnar Solskjaer look like he'd be like fucking admin in an office or something.
He's an insurance salesman, mate.
No, Sean Dyche looks like a car salesman.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. PE teacher.
Yeah. Well, we know that Pearson's at the job centre, so we don't know what he's doing at the moment.
He'll probably end up at Amazon with me.
So, I'm not even going to read that out, but Thomas Long, you can all see it.
Wow. Is that a job? Is that a profession?
I suppose.
No.
Oh my gosh.
Big Sam looks like he'd own like a fish and chip shop.
I don't know. He looks like he'd be in the queue for the fish and chip shop. What about James Dunnett? What about Don Ancelotti? Ancelotti does actually. He looks like a mafia boss. Someone said on Twitter, no, he looks like a mafia boss.
Yeah, Ancelotti are just like either that or he looked like it'd be like a film extra or something like that.
Bilic is actually like people saying Bilic is a musician. Bilic is a very, very intelligent man. He's got like doctorates and things, I think.
And he's got a law degree.
Yeah, law degree. Yeah. He'd be a lawyer.
Steve Bruce would sell lollipops in a nightclub toilet. Oh no, Arteta would be a fucking aftershave advert. You know, one of them like Chanel adverts.
He said Avon salesman. Could you imagine coming around with Avon? Come with the Avon.
Pep would be an Apple executive.
Angelotti, a funeral director.
I'll tell you what, that's spot on.
Pep would be, yeah.
Lampard would be a nightclub owner. Oh, yeah, speaking of Lampard, did you see him the other day with his little bust up with Klopp?
Yeah.
I don't think that was Klopp. I think it was some of the Liverpool players on the bench.
No, well, it was Klopp. It was Klopp.
He was saying it to Klopp.
I'd heard it was like Lallana and all that were giving it from the bench.
No, they was involved, but it was
over the it was over the foul. That Frank was saying it weren't a foul. Klopp was saying it is a foul. And
I'll tell you what, though, when you watch the video back, the full video, you can proper tell that Lampard is an old East End boy. His accent come out a bit there, where he was like, "Back off!" Like,
he went, "Go on,
fuck."
Yeah, he said, "Go on, have your party, give it the big un, and fuck off."
Yeah,
like,
you've only won fucking one league title, giving it the big un. I thought to myself, fair play to him. Fair play to him.
No, I'd heard different. I'd heard it was with some of the players on the bench who were giving it.
I just think he was having a go at anyone that fucking wanted to have a go. I think. Klopp looks like a fucking Bond villain.
He does, doesn't he? He looked like be the man with the golden gun or something.
Yeah, he looks like a Bond villain. He's got the accent as well.
Roy Hodgson could be in just a nursing home. Just retire.
Yeah, he's retired.
No, I reckon it'd be like a kindly headmaster at a boarding school or something, I reckon.
Or vicar.
Eddie Howe looks like one of them blokes that still go on holidays and trying to pull the youngsters.
What, like
goes on 1830 holidays even though he's too old?
Yeah, he could be a rep, an 1830s rep.
Gary Lineker's brother.
Right, I think that's it.
Yeah, lovely jubbly. Good stuff. Good show, guys.
Good talk.
Moyes looks like a crazy dentist.
So coming at you with a drill, like,
he does look like a dentist. Anyway, thank you very much for joining us on this edition of First Down Fan TV's Friday Night Pint. As always, go and check out the links in the description down below. I think there's stuff there for t-shirts. We will have some new ones for the new season. Might do a little sale for the end of the season come Sunday, so keep your eye on them. If you're a Patreon member, you already get a discount, but there'll be a further discount on them discounts.
All Patreon members as well can go around Graham's house for a barbecue in a couple of weeks' time.
No, we're looking. What we are looking to do is when everyone can go back to the football, and it was something that we was planning. You know, when we launched the Patreon, which was before lockdown, is we want to have a live post-match pint, which we will sell tickets for, but the patrons will get them for free. Yeah, we want to do all of that sort of stuff and do like a little event and all of that sort of stuff. So it's always something to keep an eye on. But yeah, it'll be a good little piss up when we get back. I'm sure it'll be quite popular as well in terms of tickets and all of that sort of thing. So we have to get in quick. But yeah, it's one of them things where.
So I was just Hassan Hootle would work in a builder's merchants. There's nothing wrong with working at builder's merchants. I'll tell you that.
Hey.
Yeah. So. Yeah, so go and check out the Patreon as well if you want to do that and support us for the. A lot of people support us for some very tough times, and we really appreciate that. It's going to go into equipment and stuff like that for the new season. But yeah, thank you very much for joining us in this edition. Anything else? Anything want to say? Sign off.
Yeah, I think we should talk about the Declan Rice situation again.
I don't want to talk about that enough.
Oh fucking hell! What's it? Someone keeps putting this. The baby scans are funny. I don't get that. What baby scans?
What?
Quickly reply and say what baby scans. I don't know. Am I missing something here?
Tweet Ryan at Ryan84 Archer84 if this goes off. You don't.
I've seen that a couple of times. I don't know. Fuck me. I hope I ain't got a surprise coming.
She's tweeted it out while we've been on, innit?
Yeah. Fucking
What's funny about baby scans?
Go and follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and all the social media accounts. One thing left to say, boys.
Come on, you
irons. I do Scott's all